One of the most underrated things on the spiritual path is the idea of being considerate. Not even an idea, it's just like kind of an embodiment. It's it's kindness, it's consideration, it's being an empath, empathetic, being nice, not being a dick, not being a selfish prick. Are you considerate? You need to ask yourself this question. You need to sit down with it. You need to look at yourself. Are you considerate? The degree to which you're on this path, the degree to which you align yourself, you become more and more considerate by default. What does it look like when you're considerate? It means that you place others before yourself. When I was still working through my stuff, when I was still caught up in my own mini hell, wasn't like fully in this dark night of the soul, utter depression, utter hell. I was coming out of it. I started becoming more considerate the further I went on the path. I've always been, kind of kind and considerate. I've always been that way. Nice. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. He's really nice. He means well. No. Consideration is the next level of kindness. I'm not talking about you're super nice, you're super kind, you're trying to date a girl and she rejects you because you're just too nice. No. It's a place that comes out of an authenticity. It's a place that recognizes someone else or the external as you. Even when I was in my shit, even when like I would regularly find myself, if I was working through issues with relationships and people and or interactions, if I was evaluating it, I was always trying to go over it in my mind first, right? Because it's kind of where you do the analyzing. I'm trying to put myself in the other person's shoes. Like that whole analogy or fable or metaphor, if you walk 1,000 miles in someone else's shoes, then you can understand what they're going through. I was always trying to put myself in that person's perspective to see how they saw in that moment, to try and understand where they're coming from, okay? So that you're not as reactive, so that you're not as just only looking at things through your lens, through your mental filter of your own selfish desires and bullshit wants. Oh, you're just not behaving the way I want you to behave. Well, fuck you. Fuck your own want of how they're gonna behave. There's a difference between having healthy boundaries in a relationship and understanding bullshit behaviors in someone else and knowing that you're going to stand up for yourself. You're not going to put up with bullshit. There's a difference between that and constantly spewing your selfish attitude towards the other person without even considering them. How many people are in dead-end marriages because their partner just is not they're just a selfish, egotistical fuck. They're a prick. They're an asshole. Putting each other down constantly back and forth, not holding up your end of the bargain, which is just being a basic, compassionate, empathetic, considerate, kind being. And it's hard to get yourself there when you're disillusioned with life. When life just fucking sucks balls, man. It's all hell. I'm so depressed. I hate my life. I hate everything. Well, how are you going to be considerate towards someone else? If that's your attitude, if that's the lens, the frame that you're seeing everything through. So, when you enter this piece, when you become it, when you've merged with it, the compassion and the consideration are a byproduct of this being. It's aligned with the good. How could it not be? I'm telling you guys, those of you that are awakened or close, those of you guys that are still purging your final stuff, those of you that are even still in this depression, dark night of the soul, look for the consideration in yourself for others before you're even starting on the path. Shift your attitude. You have control over that. You can do it consciously as a choice. You can choose to be a more considerate, kind person. You can choose it. If you're very used to being an asshole all the time, right? And I'm not talking about me that I come off as an asshole sometimes. I come off as agitated or arrogant or something because you guys just don't see the intention with which I'm putting out a message. No. I'm saying you have internally corrupted yourself. You have closed yourself off from life. You have lost appreciation and gratitude for your very existence. If you're looking at your life through that lens constantly, rein it back in and evaluate yourself. Look at your own shit, man. Okay? If you're gonna be selfish, at least point your selfishness towards yourself. Because what you're doing now is you're pointing your selfishness externally and demanding that the external meets your own little POV likes and dislikes. I don't like this. And you're very willing to share your opinion about how you don't like something else in someone else. Because you're very judgy. You're a hypocrite. You don't get it. Like Jesus says, take the thorn out of your own eye so that you can take the thorn out of the other person's eye. The blind leading the blind. You're a blind motherfucker. You're a judgy, whiny bitch trying to get your way in everything that you're doing. And so what room is there when you have that attitude to be compassionate and considerate and kind towards someone else? And not just towards someone else, the person, towards life itself. It can be anything, right? Because a lot of people have lost such utter connection to this physical that they don't give a fuck about nature. They don't give a fuck about animals, streams, oceans, just everything. You are considerate and kind towards everything externally. Why? Because it is you. It is a reflection of you, and you're reflecting it. So if you treat it with compassion and consideration, if you put it first, that's what being of service means. Being of service is a physical and mental manifestation of consideration, of being kind. So I'm always putting others first before myself. And yeah, I mean, that's where you naturally draw healthy boundaries. There's just some stuff you can't do. And there's just some stuff that if you know the energy of it, that if you go down that path, you're going to start getting walked all over, taken advantage of. No. You're firm in what you're willing to do, but you're willing to do more than you used to be. You're willing to do more. That's why Jesus is like, just give, man. If anybody asks, just give. It doesn't matter what they ask, just give. It's going to be replaced. If it's in a physical that can be given, then it can be very easily replaced and will be replaced with more and better. It cannot help but be that way. So the more you align yourself with your considerate nature, the more stuff comes in, man. It's a byproduct. Your manifestation exists in you being a kind and considerate and empathetic person. They don't talk about this a lot in manifestation and law of attraction stuff, guys. They don't talk about you being a considerate person and giving. It's all about what you're gonna get. It's all about getting and getting and taking and taking. That's the selfishness, man. I get more when I give. I get more comes back to me. It's like the rule of 3. If you even want to put an arbitrary number on it, what you give 3 times the amount comes back in one way or another. And you can't assign dollar values to situations and beings that come into your life. Another human is infinite. Let's say, as an example, you're searching for that special someone. How are you going to draw them in? How are you going to keep them in your life if you're not considerate? Sooner or later, they're going to see through your bullshit. Yeah, honeymoon phase in the beginning, you guys are like very carefully acting and curating your behavior to like appease this other person. First couple months, it's only so long before you keep up that act and your true self starts to show. And then there's the cracks in the foundation of your relationship start to build. And then eventually, after months, the other person's like, wow, they're a real inconsiderate prick. I kind of like that little bad boy arrogant attitude in the beginning, but now it's just wearing on me because it has infiltrated every aspect of their being around me. Every aspect of our lives, they're an inconsiderate prick. I don't like that. It's okay, guys, if you have a little blind spot and there's just one thing that you're just stuck on, you just can't get past it. I go in like the relationships subreddit or relationship advice or, you know, just whatever advice. Am I the asshole? All these different things, right? And all it is, all of the root stem of all of these issues is people being inconsiderate and unwilling to place themselves in the other person's POV just for a moment to see, yeah, is what I did. And that's why you're asking, am I the asshole in those threads? Am I the asshole? If you're even asking the question, are you the asshole? Some layer of you, some part of you is wondering, am I the asshole? Yeah, maybe you could have done better. Because you're just going on that forum on Reddit in the am I the asshole thread in that topic. You're going on there to be reaffirmed, and like a bunch of other people's little egos and insecurities and opinions and inconsiderate selves are like reaffirming, no, you were totally fine, man. You were well within your bounds. You're well within, you know, the normalities of human interaction. And honestly, guys, the normalities of human interaction, it's all bastardized. What you think is considerate isn't considerate. True consideration, true kindness is an extreme. It is well beyond what you even think. And that's why Jesus' teachings are so revolutionary and extreme, and people just can't get themselves to fully adopt it. To love everyone, literally everyone. There's no exceptions. And so for me, I'm looking for a potential mate. Let's say a woman, I want a woman to come into my life so that I can have a partner. I don't care one way or another, honestly. But if she comes in, she comes in. The number one prerequisite in the woman, are you considerate? And I sniff it out real quick, in an instant. I know. I see through your shit, man. There's no person, woman, man that comes before me. I don't sniff out your shit instantly. I just see right through you. I see your blockages. I see how you carry yourself. I see everything. You don't get it. Everyone out here is looking at each other in terms of a mental lens of insecurity always. And when you let go of your insecurity and you step into your authenticity and you merge with the God in you, the default state of being is the bliss and the consideration and kindness. And you are projecting that love on, you're literally gracing and blessing everything through your presence. And then from that centeredness, I can choose to be a dick all I want. I can come off as a dick to you and still be intentionally kind. That's how fucking crazy it is. You have no clue where I'm coming from. It's like when you're doing chess, when you watch these guys that are chess masters that see dozens, hundreds of steps ahead of the move. That's where someone like me's coming from. My intuition is already accounting for these things. So what comes up in me spontaneously is aligned and perfect. And I'm not analyzing it on the level of mind, trying to be 1,000 steps ahead. I'm just me, and the me is merged with the eternal me of everything. And in that place comes this consideration. Yeah, and more often than not, I'm gonna come off as nice and kind and friendly and happy and jovial and laughing and stuff. But if I want to cut through some shit with intentionality and aggression, I'm gonna do it. Okay? So, oh, Darius, you weren't very considerate in that moment when you were being a dick, Darius. It's like, you don't know. You don't get it. You don't get it. The directness and the efficiency of that message cut through so many layers of karmic bullshit that was the considerate thing to do in that way. You guys have this idea that like some spiritual person's supposed to be soft and like always just non-reactive and just I don't care and I'm so blissed out and I'm this yogi. You have these images, right? whenever I watch a spiritual teacher, they always make me feel warm and fuzzy inside. And then I'm just like, la, 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 la. And then where's the real change? Where's the impetus for change? If I'm not stirring shit up in you, then what are you going to notice about yourself that needs to be looked at and addressed? The number one thing I look for in someone, if I'm going to choose to keep you in my life, friend, relationship, like significant other, partner, marriage, material stuff, co-workers, right? Like if I'm in an environment where I'm working with people and most of them are assholes, I'm not going to want to stay there very long, am I? You have to be considerate. It is a fundamental requirement to me and to this new earth that's coming, when everyone is in service of everyone else. No one's selfish anymore. I mean, not some are, but they're quickly going to find out. It's like, if the majority of the people on this planet were truly considerate and kind and giving, then the people that weren't that way would much more easily notice how off their behavior is and how shitty it makes them feel. We already know, man. You guys know there's enough kindness in the world, there's enough consideration and doing of good deeds out there. You know that it's the good thing to do, the right thing to do. But because you're coming from a scarcity mindset and reality, because you're so bought into this physical that what you literally have now is all that you think you're ever gonna have, you're not making room for the new thing to come in that's potentially better. And not even potentially, that is better. It's always better. Even if you think and label it as worse, it's still better for you in that moment, for your soul's ascension and your own personal spiritual growth and understanding. It's always better. I could be stripped of everything. I could be stripped of every physical layer of stuff in my life, and it would still be better. I instantly recognize, oh, it's being taken from me. I'm not even gonna fight it. I'm just gonna let it go. And then God's like, oh, they see that even in the letting go, they receive. It's so paradoxical, man. That even in the letting go, you receive. It may not be in your physical reality right this moment, but it's coming. Trust me. The coming of the Son of Man. Ooh, fancy. These videos. Just layers upon layers of consciousness and labels that we put on things. And then one video dedicated to one topic, and it touches one aspect of infinity, the infinity stones. You can boil it down to one or two things, and then you realize that everything that I'm discussing in any of my videos comes out of the same root of source of it, of stillness, of peace. It's like, and like I say, it's the mental masturbation with everything. Me creating a video specifically about consideration is utter mental masturbation. It is. It is. My next video, it's meditate and pray. It's like a 2-second video. Meditate and pray. 2-second video. That's all I say. And that one video, that message, is more powerful and more succinct and more concise and more effortless than all of my other videos combined. If you guys really understood how powerful the meditation and the prayer is. Meditate and pray. Turn off the camera and ignore anything that comes out of my mouth, because it is more likely to be illusory than you yourself sitting down in meditation and prayer and identifying your own internal stillness, identifying your own internal voice, and identifying your own God essence. That is considerate, highly considerate, like motherfucking uber, like above and beyond considerate. You're like, oh, they're just so nice. Like, I don't know, like, they're just so cool. Like, I don't get it. How can they just give so willingly of themselves? How? That anything that is asked for is given. Even if you don't see it, it is given. One way or another, it's given. And you're so into your mind and you only see it a certain way that you can't even see the thing and how it came in, that it was the same thing you were asking for, just layered and disguised as something else. So if I want to be considerate to someone else when I'm not fully aligned, then I have to choose it. And the more that I choose it, the more my attitude perks up, becomes like aligned. And then because my attitude of compassion and kindness is flowing through me through the consideration, because I'm more grateful, because I'm just like, thank you. You go out, you say thank you for everything, because I'm more aligned with that. Now it's much easier to step. It's like the next step. Like I say in one of my other videos, it's the next step. You do the good, you align yourself with the good, you do the good deeds, you feel good inside. Oh, I feel warm and fuzzy. Yeah, it was so nice to help that person. Maybe you look back on it, you think about that one good deed that you did. Like, I didn't have to do that, but I just felt like doing it, so I did it. And then I felt great about it. Your whole life can be that, man. Not just little snapshots of it. Your whole life can be that. You're one step away. You're one step away. Even if you're in hell right now, even if you're utterly depressed, you want to kill yourself, you're one step away. You're one step away. You're like, no, Darius, it's not possible. I still have a year or 2 or 3 of utter hell to traverse and final stuff to purge, like you've said, yeah. But you're still one step away. You're one step from aligning yourself. Like, every step you take further and further and further gets you closer to full alignment. When someone says they're awakened, when you have an awakening, it's just that you've stepped closer and through it, and then you go through shit again and you buy back into the reality and it all fucks you up again. You're now more steps removed. It's basically a mentality and adoption of 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Sometimes 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And you feel like you're caught in neutral, like you're caught in quicksand, not improving, but behind the scenes in the ethers of layers of consciousness and karmic cords and contracts and stuff beyond our full understanding consciously, there is work being done there that you couldn't possibly known. There are things that are being arranged so that in a specific moment, linearly, in time, in physical, it can be shown to you. Do you know how much effort is needed to align something for you in a moment? That's why it takes time. Sometimes it happens perfectly, automatically. Sometimes not. You need to be okay with the not. We're all very much like, oh, it has to happen right now, right now, right now. Very impatient. And you'll notice that the more considerate you become, the more patient you become. You just allow people to be themselves. You're not judging them. And so if they want to act out some crazy shit, if they want to like talk to you, you're just chill. You're like, okay, what do you have to share with me? And it doesn't mean that you lose personal boundaries. But what it means is that you're not always uncomfortable. You're out here, like everyone, you know how many people are just always uncomfortable? They're just always uneasy, anxious. In any situation they find themselves, they're always just insecure and uncomfortable. And if someone comes into their reality, oh, I don't have time for you. How dare you talk to me? Everyone's a creep. It's like, just let them be, man. Let them express themselves however they need to express themselves. And if it's really agitating you that much, then leave. Fine, okay? But open the boundaries of yourself a little bit more. Make yourself put up with a little bit more. you'll see that it's not so bad. If I can put up with an extra 5 seconds of another person that I otherwise would have a short fuse towards, it's not, then that means that it can be expanded into even more. It's an example. It's a lesson. It's a mini lesson that anything can be surrendered fully into, no matter how distasteful. And obviously, you don't want to continue being a doormat in a relationship, you know? You don't want to keep putting up with shit from a significant other and they refuse to change, and you've brought it to their attention multiple times, and you're racking yourself with like, how many different ways am I gonna, it's the same idea with me, how many different ways am I gonna do my videos? Trying to get the same message across to someone. You're trying to think of, how many different ways am I gonna get this one message of, hey, can you just be a little more considerate? And the fact that they're not changing, it's letting you know. If they were earnestly trying, they're like, yeah, babe, like I get it. I'm really sorry. Like, I'm gonna try better. If it's just word service and then the next day they're not actually implementing, trying to be better, if you're not noticing it, yeah, maybe it takes a little bit of time to show up. Maybe it doesn't happen right away. Give it a week. If you're not noticing by the 7th day that there's like a marked improvement in how they're interacting, cut your losses and move on. Don't waste another second of your life. And don't be afraid of like, oh no, I'm gonna lose them, and who's gonna be in my life, and oh, there's gonna be so much pain and suffering, and like, no. The pain and suffering you're going through in the relationship is much worse than a little bit of pain you're gonna go through for a few months getting over them, and then stepping into yourself again without that karmic attachment of inconsiderate nonsense. You're putting your foot down. You're standing up for yourself. And I'm not telling you guys you're out and about in life and you're just always making it a point to stand up for yourself. You just have to, your opinion, you're a Karen, your opinion just has to be known, turning everything into a fucking struggle and conflict. No, that's the other extreme end. Well, you shouldn't be this way. Like super considerate, right? It's like oh, I'm just so concerned with your behavior. You know, like a troll, a concerned troll on social media. Like, I'm just really concerned, guys. It's just like this faux consideration. No, man. You can tell someone's authentic considerate state. You can tell it very clearly. It's very easy to sniff out the more you align yourself with it. The degree to which you're aligned with your own consideration and kindness, the easier you can sniff it out in others, and the easier it'll bring in people that are aligned with that aspect of yourself that you're getting closer and closer to.